students. So today I'm going to be talking about the future tense for my unit plan. Basically, with what I plan on doing is I'm just going to kind of touch on what my overview is, and then I will leave you the link to check out the other things I mentioned, such as the learning paradigm and how this is a UDL kind of a presentation, those different elements of our project. I will tell you right now, if you were to go click on it, it wouldn't be completed, but I have a very short window of time that I was able to come into work and use our technology. So at least I can show you how to use the different technology tools for this presentation as well. Just kind of a little overview of what we'll be doing. So what I'll show you now is, again, you'll be able to click on this. This is all through Google presentations, but this is my unit summary. Basically, Unit 3.1 comes from our resource book called En Español. The goal of this lesson is, the overarching theme is fashion, but the main target points for grammar are using verbs like gustar, talking about the future of probability, which is like, oh, where are my keys? Oh, they might be in the car, or they might be in the bathroom. That's what the future probability is. And differentiating between por and para. For this particular assignment, I'm going to focus on the future tense. It should take 2 to 3 days. The reason I say 2 to 3 days is something I'm very interested in my own professional area is kind of independent studies for students, because I've noticed that our kids in the classroom have very wide range and abilities, and I understand that, yes, we need different modes of representation and different forms of engagement to get these students and to reach all of them, but it still doesn't address my problem necessarily that I have some students that can just zip right through something, or some students that need a really long time, and this is especially true with my heritage learners, which are the students who grow up speaking Spanish. So what I'm trying to do is create this technology unit, and I've done this before for a class, and so what I really wanted to take this class was to kind of figure out how can I address the problems that I faced previously when my unit wasn't very successful. So by doing an independent study, I feel like my students that are really fast can, go right through what they need to do and move on to independent projects, whereas my students who really need that extra help can take that time to talk to me, or, maybe it's just an issue of they didn't hear me and they need something repeated. So this way, with everything being online, including like the notes, they can go back, and if they need to listen to me 5 times, they can do it, and they don't have to feel embarrassed or like they're holding anyone else back. So that's why it says it should take up to 3 days, because it'll depend on the student. I do have extra assignments if someone finishes a task. But I have, for the purpose of this course and for the students, I provided a suggested route for doing the assignments that would take them 3 days. So to show you what tools we're going to be using in typical fashion as a teacher, I have a million tabs open. Everything I do is going to be piloted on Moodle. So you won't actually be able to access this because you all are not District 87 users, but this is what the page looks like. Students, when they're invited, they will see, and this is a previous page I've done, so this is all very outdated, but I just wanted you to see what this would look like. It's got the date, and it's got the different things I would want them to do, like the horario would be their schedule. I've just got some surveys and stuff plugged in here. I can't make this now because I have no idea when we'll actually be in this chapter come next semester, but again, this is kind of a visual, like you can see it do exit slips, surveys, just basically, oh, and here's like different goals. And what I'm doing is I'm going to revamp this, because I found that last time I did this, I kind of just had everything that could have been done on paper, I put it on the computer, so I truly was just doing technology for the sake of technology. Like, for example, if you look at this, like, there's no reason I needed to have this on the computer. Like, this was just me putting it on there just to say I had stuff online. So this assignment is to kind of steer away from that. Here, if you haven't used VoiceThread, here's an example. Basically, you just have to create an account, but it's really cool, and I don't have the Pro, so I can't show you what the sound would look like. But basically, what I will do is I will pose a question here for the students. We always warm up with a question of the day, which is like, what would you do if you had $1 million? And all the students would typically normally write their responses, but now they will have the chance to go and they'll click this comment box, and they can either put a picture, they can write something, they can speak something. For the purpose of this assignment, I'm going to have them speak, and it's kind of cool because they can go and they can, I don't know if you can see this down here, but all of this would be like students commenting, so they can even listen to each other, which is really interesting. I've talked about edu creations before. What it is it's a way for students to view notes online, and like I said, I've done this for a previous assignment for this class, but if you are interested in doing edu creations, I know there's other servers out there, but students always tell me that they love this, and I feel like with this class I've been able to become better and more efficient with it. But I won't, since you can't hear the sound, it's nice because you can submit pictures and they can hear your voice and you can write stuff. It's just like live footage, so I'll just play this for a second. Again, you won't hear me, but you can see me writing. Okay, so that's enough. You can see that it's live footage, and then you would also hear my voice. In case you're interested in how Edu Creations works, I know some of you mentioned that you thought it wasn't free. I don't know what the deal is with that because I've never had a problem, but basically, you just, you can click, you can write stuff. I don't even know I'm drawing here, but, if you were clicking record, it would hear you talking and it would see you writing in live feed. You can also add images, which I like to do because sometimes I will, for example, maybe scan an image from the textbook and put the image on here so I don't have to rewrite everything, but I can kind of write over the image, which is great if you're not someone that has a document camera, which I certainly do not. And if you don't want to, you can just pitch that. So I'm going to close out of that. Another thing, this is new, what I really want to try. Before, when I did this, I just had students recording themselves or speaking to a partner, and by recording themselves, I used Poodle, which is a server through Moodle, which is truly great for the submission standpoint, but something I'm going to try next time I do this, which is what I'm doing for this lesson, is using Voki, which allows students to create speaking avatars using their own voice, which is really nice. So what you would do is after you created an account and you logged in, you could create a new Voki, and what you would do is you get to customize a character, have it look like you want. Students love this because it's not just them speaking anymore. Now they really get to attach a personality to this. Like if they want to be a horse, they can be a horse. Granted, there are other people, there are other avatar websites, but I just think Voki's really easy. And one of the reasons I like it is because if I were to create a character, there's a number of ways I can record. I can record by phone. I can text to speech, which actually, yes, it does work for foreign languages, or I can actually just record myself with a microphone. For me, if I were doing this at home, and my only option was to record using a microphone, I couldn't do it because I don't have a microphone at my house. I do, however, have a cell phone, and I could call in and do my recording. So that is something I would definitely want to do there. Another technology, although I really didn't expand on this, is using Audacity. Students, sometimes when we do oral examples, like I'll do an oral dictation where I read them a story, some students get upset because they need me to say it more than one time. So what's great about Audacity is I can record myself using these fancy little buttons up here, and then I can export my project. I have nothing to export right now since I didn't record, but I can export my audio, save it as a file, and that way my students can open it up on a Moodle or whatever server I might be using, and listen to it that way and listen to it many times. So let me see if I can find an old one that I did. Like here, see how it's, please listen to the following audio clip. This is uploaded here through Audacity. So everything here that's playing, that's from me recording it and uploading my own file. So again, great for the kids that need it a number of times. Just to recap, the last thing that I have is a, what do you call it? wish I could speak right now. I have, hold on, let me pause this. Oh, there's login. I created a web quest, which is the final technology piece that I have, and it's kind of an all-encompassing project for the students. I really like this because I mentioned that, yes, my focus of this unit would be the future tense, but I wanted to have something that was kind of all-encompassing and put everything together. So this is a Weebly that I made, and I actually, from this class, I went through and edited it because, like I said, my main purpose was to fix things that had previously been done to make it better and stronger and use technology with a purpose, which is something that's kind of a takeaway point for me this chapter. But if you can just see here, it takes them through the different steps that they need, and you'll find that there's a rubric and a conclusion. So if you were to click here, you'd see the rubric. And then there's my teacher page of resources if you're interested. But yeah, so that's all the technology stuff that I have for you. There, that's awkward. So hopefully this was clear. Hopefully you got a gist and an explanation of how to use these different resources. So enjoy looking through the rest of my unit.